Today we are going to look at Revati Nakshatra. Revati occupies the final degrees of Pisces and is the 27th and last nakshatra in the Vedic zodiac. As the nakshatra that closes the zodiac, it carries a quality of completion, of having traveled the full circle and arrived somewhere. Revati's three core themes are time and increments, safe travel and passage, and nurturance and care. These three themes come directly from its symbol and its deity. Revati's symbol is a drum, specifically a drum used to mark time. The drum does not carry melody. Its purpose is to measure, to keep rhythm, to mark the passage of moments. From this symbol, Revati governs all forms of timekeeping and incremental progression, like clocks, calendars, and any activity that unfolds in measured steps. Things influenced by this nakshatra can also develop by leaps and bounds, with considerable energy and noise, much like a drum being struck. The presiding deity is Pushan. Pushan is one of the more quietly important deities in the Vedic traditions. He is responsible for nurturance, for feeding, fostering, and caring for living creatures. He is the keeper of the cows of the gods. He is also specifically associated with safe travel, with ensuring that journeys are completed without harm and with finding lost creatures and lost articles. Roads, shelter while traveling, and protection during passage all fall under his domain. Together, the drum and Pushan give Revati its essential character, a nakshatra that is attentive to time, protective of those in movement, and fundamentally oriented towards care. The three themes worth understanding in Revati are as follows. The first is time. Revati governs anything that measures or marks time, and more broadly, any activity that proceeds in careful, incremental steps. There is a methodical quality to this nakshatra. It does not rush, it keeps its own rhythm. The second is safe passage. Roads, travel, and the protection of those in transit all fall under Revati. Pushan's domain extends to anyone who is between one place and another, physically or in a broader sense. This includes travelers, road builders, and those who provide shelter and hospitality to people in transit. The third is nurturance. Pushan's role as the keeper of cows and the finder of lost creatures gives Revati a strong association with foster care, surrogate relationships, and the care of those who cannot care for themselves. When the ascendant or moon falls in Revati, it often indicates a person who is a dependable and responsible friend, someone who looks after others with genuine warmth and reliability. There is also a sociable dimension here. Revati natives often love society and can be natural hosts. When the ascendant falls in Revati, these three themes tend to show up clearly in the person's life and public identity. Johannes Brahms had Revati rising, and he is a natural illustration of the drum and time theme. Music is one of the most direct expressions of Revati's symbolism. It is structured entirely around the measurement and marking of time. Brahms, in particular, was known for the rhythmic complexity and careful construction of his compositions. He did not write quickly or carelessly. His music proceeded in exactly the kind of measured, incremental way that the drum symbolism suggests. Beyond his music, Brahms was also known for his deeply nurturing personal relationships, particularly his long and devoted friendship with Clara Schumann, which had a quality of steady, protective care that is very characteristic of this nakshatra. Lee Iacocca had Revati rising, and his connection to the nakshatra is among the most literal in the list. He spent his entire career in the automobile industry, first at Ford, then at Chrysler. Roads and the vehicles that traveled them were the substance of his professional life. But Iacocca also illustrates Revati's nurturance theme in a specific way. When he took over Chrysler in 1978, the company was on a verge of collapse. He fought to secure a government loan guarantee, restructured the company, and brought it back from the edge of bankruptcy. That act of rescuing and sustaining an institution, whereby protecting the livelihoods of tens of thousands of people, is very much in keeping with Pushan's role as nurturer and protector. Morgan Freeman is a third example with Revati rising, and he represents the nurturance and dependability theme most directly. Freeman has built an entire career and public persona around a quality of warmth, trustworthiness, and protective presence. He is one of the most instinctively trusted voices in cinema. Audiences consistently respond to him as someone reliable, someone who looks after things. That quality of being the dependable friend, the responsible presence, is exactly what the classical texts describe for Revati. Freeman has also been involved in various philanthropic efforts, particularly around education, which reflects Pushan's care for those who need guidance and support. The moon in Revati shapes the emotional nature and the inner life. Here, Revati's themes show up in what a person feels drawn towards, what nourishes them, and how they relate to others at a deeper level. Luciano Pavarotti had his moon in Revati. Like Brahms on the ascendant side, Pavarotti connects directly to the time and rhythm theme through music. Opera is one of the most precisely time structured art forms that exists. Every phrase is measured, every breath placed. Pavarotti's voice was also notable for a quality of warmth and nourishment that went beyond technique. He was famous for making audiences feel held and cared for, which is a Revati moon quality expressing itself through art. He was also, by many accounts, a generous and hospitable man in his personal life, very much the friendly host that the texts associate with this nakshatra. Angelina Jolie has a moon in Revati, and she is the most direct illustration of the foster care and nurturance theme. She has adopted three children from Cambodia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam, an act of cross cultural nurturing that connects very specifically to Pushan's role as keeper and finder of lost creatures. Beyond her personal life, she has spent decades as a UN Goodwill Ambassador working with refugees, people who are by definition in transit, displaced, in need of shelter and protection. That combination of literal foster parenting and global advocacy for those in passage covers both of Pushan's primary domains simultaneously. Finally, we look at an example where the moon and ascendant are in Revati. In this case, the example of Martina Navratilova. When both the ascendant and the moon occupy the same nakshatra, the person tends to be a very concentrated expression of that nakshatra's themes. The outward personality and the inner emotional nature are shaped by the same set of qualities. In Navratilova's case, that double Revati placement shows up across multiple dimensions of her life. Her entire professional career was structured around travel, decades of moving from city to city, country to country, tournament to tournament. She is one of the most traveled athletes in the history of the professional sport. Her life also contains one of the most significant acts of personal passage in modern sports history. In 1975, at the age of 18, she defected from Czechoslovakia while at the US Open. She left behind her family, her country, and everything familiar, and crossed into a completely new life. That act of leaving one's place and committing to safe passage towards another is Pushan's domain in a very literal sense. And off the court, Navratilova has been consistently known for her loyalty, her directness, and her care for those around her, qualities that map closely onto the dependable, responsible friend that the classical texts describe for Revati. In terms of professions and places, Revati's three themes map quite directly onto specific careers. For the time theme, anyone whose work involves measuring or marking time, like clockmakers, watchmakers, calendar makers, schedulers, and more broadly, anyone whose profession depends on precise timing and incremental progression. For the travel and roads theme, road planners, civil engineers, highway maintenance crews, travelers, and those in the transport and logistics industries. Also, those who provide shelter, hospitality, and care to people in transit, like hotel keepers, hosts, and in a modern context, those working with refugees and displaced persons. For the nurturance theme, foster parents, adoptive parents, pediatric caregivers, and those working in childcare and early education. The texts also specifically associate Revati with pediatric diseases, so medical professionals working with children fall under this nakshatra as well. Siblings and other surrogate family relationships are also governed here. To summarize what we have covered, Revati is the final nakshatra of the Vedic zodiac. Its symbol is the drum, the keeper of time and rhythm. Its deity is Pushan, the nurturer, the protector of those in transit, the finder of what is lost. Its three core themes are time and incremental progression, safe travel and passage, and nurturance and care. Unlike some of the nakshatras we have looked at, Revati does not have a pronounced shadow side. It is fundamentally a gentle and purposeful nakshatra, one that is oriented towards keeping things moving safely and caring for those who need it. As the last nakshatra in the zodiac, it carries a quality of completion and return, the journey that ends well, the traveler who arrives home.